Hello, everybody, and I would like to thank my wonderful subscribers.
Hello, everybody, and today we are going to be watching 4 horrific true Christmas horror stories. This came out 1 day ago, so it is brand new, and I have never seen it before. So, yeah. Wait, what the fuck? Did they just post a new one right now? Not. Wait, 32 minutes. No, I'm the sedated horse, and we are gonna watch Christmas horror stories by Mr. Nightmare. Okay, no matter what. We're gonna do this shit. Christmas horror story, get that into this. Story 1 by Glenn.
My name is Gregory.
Okay.
This happened last December when I was home alone in my house for a whole week.
Damn.
My girlfriend had gone to stay with her parents for the holidays.
What about
and
your
I stayed
parents?
behind because of work. I live in a quiet neighborhood in a small town in upstate New York.
Okay.
The houses are pretty spaced out, and most of the people on my block go away for Christmas.
Yeah?
So I basically had the whole street to myself.
Damn.
At
Like a
first,
hot
I liked
deal.
the idea of the peace and quiet. I
But
thought I would get a lot of rest and maybe catch up on some shows and just enjoy the coziness of
How
the
old
holidays
are
for a
you?
bit. But what happened that week still lives rent-free in my head.
dang.
It was on my second night alone. It was around 6:30 and already completely dark outside. It had been snowing lightly all day. There was a
Okay.
white layer on my yard and driveway.
You then cleaned
I
that
was in the
up?
kitchen making a simple dinner, just pasta and chicken.
Wow.
Usually my girlfriend is the one to cook our meals. I'm not
Yeah,
much of a
if
chef.
you don't have her.
I turned on the TV in the background to make the house feel less empty. Because as
Okay.
happy as I was to have the place
You
to
were
myself for a
yawning.
bit, I wasn't used to it being so empty and quiet in here. While I was eating at the table, I heard something unusual. It really
What?
took me a second to figure out what it was.
Oh no.
It sounded like singing. I muted the TV and listened. The sound was definitely coming from outside.
Well, what
The
yet?
singing got a little clearer, and I realized the person was singing Jingle Bells.
Okay.
At first I thought maybe some neighborhood kids were playing around outside, but the voice didn't sound like a kid.
Yeah, an
It
adult?
sounded like a grown man.
Shit.
I got up and walked toward the front door because that seemed like the direction it was coming from. The closer I got, the louder it got.
Are you right outside
By
the
the time I
door?
reached the door, it sounded like the singing was coming from right on my front stoop.
Oh shit.
I
Shut
felt
the
a weird
doorbell.
feeling in my stomach, but at that moment,
I'm sorry, I
God.
meant shut the
By
peephole.
the time I reached the door, it sounded like the singing was coming from right on my front stoop. I felt a weird feeling in my stomach, but at that moment, I still thought maybe it was just a carol.
Yeah.
I opened the door, and standing in the glow of my
What?
porch light was a man around 35 years old. He wore no hat, and his coat looked too thin for the weather.
Yeah?
But the strangest thing was that he was completely focused on singing Jingle Bells, staring down at my welcome mat like he
Wow.
wasn't even aware I opened the door.
Hey,
I
weird.
remember forcing a little smile because I didn't really know what else to do.
Wait for
Never
him to
gotten
get
Christmas
done.
carolers before. But even still, I never heard of a grown man doing it solo. It's supposed to be a group thing from what I know.
Yeah.
He didn't look dangerous. He actually just looked sort of confused or maybe slow. I
Oh.
even wondered if he was special needs or something
Maybe.
because he didn't react to me being there. He just kept singing. When he finished the song, I expected him to say something, or at least leave.
He
But he
didn't?
just took a breath and started singing Jingle Bells all over again
No.
from the beginning in the same slow, off-key tone. But
Ah.
now he was looking up at me,
Oh.
making direct eye contact. I felt my smile drop because it was just weird now.
Yeah.
I stood there another minute, pretending to listen, even though it felt uncomfortable.
I bet.
I kept thinking he would stop after the second.
Yeah. No. Yeah, after the first one, I would have said, that sounds good. Thank you for letting me listen. And then I would have closed the door. You don't listen a second time, because the second time is the same as the first time. If he didn't do it a second time, he didn't do it a third time, and a fourth time. Because why wouldn't they?
Run, but he didn't.
God damn it.
He just looped the song.
Why?
I checked my phone and realized almost 4 minutes had passed
No.
while he sang Jingle Bells over and over. Finally, I decided it was enough.
Talk to him.
I told him thank you in a polite tone,
Thank
and I slowly
you.
closed the door. I thought that would send him on his way.
It didn't?
But once the door was closed, I still heard the singing.
Okay.
It continued without even slowing down. I walked back to the table and sat down, trying to ignore it.
Turn on the
The longer
TV.
it went on, the harder it was to ignore.
Turn on the TV.
The man didn't seem normal, and it bothered me that he was still right outside my door singing the same song.
You can't really do
I wondered
anything.
if maybe he was special needs and someone was out there with him, like by the street or something.
No,
I
you
didn't
would have
see
saw
anyone
that.
else out there.
Yeah.
It made the whole house feel uncomfortable, like someone weird was standing too close to my personal space.
He's outside
I
the
kept
door.
eating, but I couldn't focus on the food. It went on for my entire dinner. Finally,
Tell
after
him
about
to
10 minutes
leave.
straight, the singing stopped.
Oh, that's
The
good.
sudden silence actually made me jump because I
Damn.
had gotten used to the singing.
How?
I got up slowly and walked back to the front door window.
Okay.
When I looked outside, I expected to see the man
You
gone,
like it?
but he was still there. He had moved. Now he was standing at the end of my driveway.
Okay.
He was just facing my house, completely still.
Why?
He was no longer singing. At least I couldn't hear anything from here. He was just standing there in the snow, staring at the door.
Damn.
Something about that felt worse than the singing. He looked like he was waiting. I opened the door a crack and told him he couldn't be here.
Yeah.
That this was private property and he needed to leave.
Did he run at
He
you?
didn't move at all. The whole thing was so unnatural. I finally told him that if he didn't leave, I would call the police.
Would
Then I
you?
shut the door again. I watched him for another minute from the window, but he didn't budge.
Yeah.
I didn't want to actually call the cops because I thought maybe there was something mentally wrong with him. I didn't want to make things worse.
Yeah.
So
you
instead,
don't wanna.
I decided to just go upstairs, lock my bedroom door, and try to relax.
He hasn't done
I
anything
checked
either.
out the window upstairs before changing into bedclothes.
He was
The
there?
man was gone from the driveway.
Okay.
Thank God. I figured the threat worked. I got into bed, turned on a lamp, and started reading my book to wind down.
What was it?
Maybe 20 minutes went by when I heard something from behind the house. I knew instantly
Like
what
the
it was,
backyard?
unfortunately. It was the same man singing Jingle Bells again, except now it was coming from my backyard.
Shit, that's even worse.
I jumped out of bed and went to the back window. When I looked down, not only was he directly inside of my backyard, he was already looking up at my window.
He did see
The
the
man
eye.
was in my backyard standing in the snow directly below my bedroom window.
Oh shit.
He was looking straight up at me while he sang.
Oh no.
I slid open the window and yelled at him that I was calling the police. The singing stopped instantly.
Okay.
He stood there in total silence for about 3 seconds. Then, he suddenly burst into a full sprint toward the back door on the lower level.
What the fuck?
The second he was out of my view, I heard the most insane sound I've ever heard in
A
my
yell?
life. He started screaming at the top of his lungs.
Oh,
Not like
no.
a normal scream. It sounded like a death metal singer, but even more insane and deranged.
God damn.
It echoed
He's
across
going
the yard
out
and
there.
through the entire house. Then came the banging. The
On
back
the-
door shook
oh,
violently as he kicked it, slammed into it, and probably tried ripping the doorknob off. I felt the vibrations
Hold
from
it,
the impacts
please.
in my upstairs bedroom.
Dang,
I
that's
realized
hot.
this guy wasn't just weird.
He was
Trying to get
crazy.
inside. I grabbed my phone and called 911
Yeah.
right away. I begged them to hurry, telling them a man was trying to break in. I stayed on the line while holding a baseball bat with my other hand.
Okay, good. You
Backed
have a
into my
weapon.
bedroom closet and shut myself in. The operator told me to stay hidden. I could still hear the screams and bangs from downstairs, and every second felt like he was going to break through. Then, just as suddenly
They
as they
stopped.
started, the bangs stopped. Everything went silent except for my breathing.
Is it the
I
police
didn't know
here?
if he left or if he got inside. I stayed completely still in the closet until the police arrived. They checked the entire outside of the house and confirmed the back door was still locked.
Okay.
The operator said I could come out and meet them. When I stepped outside to greet them, I finally felt like I could breathe again. We walked around the backyard and saw deep footprints in the snow, showing exactly where he had stood while singing to me through the window,
Yeah.
and where he had run up to the back door. The footprints then led off into the woods behind my property.
Well, go in
The
there.
cops went to follow the trail a little bit, but came back because it apparently wasn't worth going deep into the woods at night.
God damn.
They acted like it wasn't a big deal. They
Yeah.
told me people act strange all the time, and that as long as I kept my doors locked, I should be fine. They didn't seem
Okay.
very interested in finding him, and that bothered me a lot.
Damn.
But I was too shaken up to argue. After they left, the house felt horribly empty and cold.
Uh-huh.
I kept every door and window locked and double-checked them over and over. At that point, I was over the alone time and just wanted my girlfriend back home.
Aww.
I went down to my parents' place for Christmas Eve and Christmas, thankfully. As far as that man, he never returned. At
Good.
least, not that I know of.
Well, that was just a scary one. I mean, what could the police do? I think they could go deeper in. Honestly, I think the police should have to. Like, the footprints, right? Like, unless the guy finds some way to, like, hide his footprints, the police should have to follow them. Because, like, they can't, like, they can see where he's going. Also, my voice hurts. Sorry.
Story is about my Christmas experience from about 10 years ago. I was 6 years old, since my birthday was in November. I had just finished celebrating. Now we were getting ready for the holiday. My birthday celebration happened on the same day as the famous Odell Beckham Jr. catch.
I don't know what that is.
I lived with Cowboys fans, but I was a Giants fan.
Okay.
I remember it being talked about for the rest of the night, and even during my birthday celebration. It was an eventful birthday week, and I'm surprised I remember all of this since I was only 6.
Well,
I didn't understand football.
It's tied to a bad memory now.
So I was just living in the moment and happy it was my birthday, like any other kid. For my birthday, I got tickets to the Mavs-Wizards NBA game on December 30th. I was a Cavaliers fan, but since we lived in DFU outside of Dallas, I knew a lot of Mavs fans.
I don't know any of these.
I was a small fan myself, so I was grateful. It was going to be my first NBA game. Christmas Day was 5 days before, and I got a brand new Odell Beckham Jr. jersey, and a Mavericks shirt and sweatshirt as I was becoming a sports fan. I had a great Christmas, but one of my Christmas gifts was another Mavs game, which was on December 27th against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I wish I knew what he was talking about.
I was so excited to go to both games. The day came, and we went to the game. The Mavs won a close one. Something like 112 to 105.
Do you look that up, or do you just
remember
remember
like that in an NBA arena for the first time? We left the game and drove home, which was maybe 45 minutes away from the American Airlines Center.
Dang.
The next couple of days were normal, but I was excited to go back to that amazing stadium and atmosphere. This time we went again. I didn't know it would be the last time I went for years.
Really? Is that because of the bad
memory? We had
memory?
nice seats, like 7 rows from the court and in the middle. But this time, we were maybe row 20 and in a corner area, so the experience was different.
Yeah.
The game was going well, and I was enjoying it. The Mavs were killing them by like 20 to 30 points at halftime. Since I was a child, I wanted to roam around and get food and go to the bathroom by myself. But I was with my parents and only 6 years old.
Yeah,
so my parents and I walked to get some food. We waited in line for maybe 20 minutes. My dad went to another restaurant inside the arena to get different food.
What time
did you stayed with my brother, who was waiting in line to pay. As we talked to the worker, I walked away to throw out some of the candy they bought me before the game.
Okay.
I walked to a trash can maybe 30 feet away. As I got there, this tall white man came up to me and asked, "Hey, are you lost?"
No.
I shook my head and didn't say anything. He said he didn't see my parents around and told me, "Let's go look."
No.
As he grabbed my hand and walked with me.
No.
I was just a kid, so I walked with him.
Why?
He took me toward the nosebleeds and said we were going to the intercom so they could announce my name and find my parents.
What do you mean? You know where they are. You left them to get... You left them to throw something away, but you should still know where your guardians are. How do you, like, why? Give me rewind. I need to listen to this again.
Line for maybe 20 minutes. My dad went to another restaurant inside the arena to get different food, and I stayed with my brother, who was waiting in line to pay.
Okay, you're still
As
with
we
a
talked to the
family
worker,
member.
I walked away to throw out some of the candy they bought me before the game. I walked to a trash can maybe 30 feet away. As I got there, this tall white man came up to me and asked, "Hey, are you lost?" I shook my head and didn't say anything. He said he didn't see my parents around and told me, "Let's go look."
Why
as he
would you?
grabbed my hand and walked with me. I was just a kid, so I walked with him.
Why?
He took me toward the nosebleeds and said we were going to the intercom so they could announce my name and find my parents.
You
I
know
said,
where your
"Okay,"
brother
kept
is.
walking. We got to the top, and We waited for about 10 minutes. He waited until the coast was clear, and then tried pushing me towards the emergency stairs or elevator. I don't remember exactly, but I do remember there was no one around.
Yeah.
Then I remembered stranger danger,
Yes.
and the guilt and fear started sinking in. I realized I shouldn't go with this
Yes.
man. He didn't have any credentials. He
Duh.
let go of my hand to go check his phone. I ran all the way back to the stands. As I ran, I saw him standing there with a small grin on his face.
Wow.
I couldn't find my parents, but I didn't care.
Your
I just wanted
brother?
to be somewhere safe.
Away from
I found my
him.
brother, who hadn't told my parents he lost me because he didn't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
He asked if I was okay, and I said yes,
Did you
choosing
tell
not
him?
to say anything.
Wow.
The game ended and the Mavs won, but I didn't care. I just wanted to go home.
Aww.
As we exited, I was quiet. When we got in the car, I was also quiet.
You should
My
tell
parents
them.
seemed confused that I didn't seem energetic, but I told them I was tired. As we drove home, I almost fell asleep, but then a loud honk screeched behind us. It was so loud I almost screamed.
Oh no.
I turned around, and there he was. The same man driving a truck with maybe 3 other men inside.
Oh no.
I couldn't tell who they were, just silhouettes. My parents yelled at them from our car when they pulled up next to us, but the men just stared.
At you.
I wanted to say something so badly, but for some reason, I didn't.
I mean, what are you
When we
going
got
to say?
home, I went right to sleep and passed out fast. In the middle of the night, I woke up with chills.
Oh no.
I noticed a light flashing at my window.
Shit, it's
I
them.
looked out, expecting something innocent, Santa Claus or something.
What?
But instead, saw that man standing out there, shining a flashlight into my bedroom window. I screamed and ran to my parents' room, telling them someone was at my window as if it were a first-story window. They
What?
rushed outside and searched for maybe 20 minutes. They didn't find anything, and since I was a kid, they didn't believe me.
Okay, well, at least they looked. I bet if they did find something, they would have believed you. But, you know, since you're a little kid and you had no proof, I bet them, not believing you after they checked. I think the important thing is that they checked at all. Because you have some of the other parents who were even worse than that.
They said it must have been a shadow from a car, but
A
I know what I saw.
shadow? How did that work?
On
It was
New
a
Year's
light.
Eve, a couple days later, we were staying up until midnight to watch the ball drop. We were
Nice.
about 5 or 6 minutes away from midnight when the doorbell rang.
Oh no,
My
it's
parents
them.
answered it. I didn't pay attention until I heard the man's voice, and I was 100% sure it was him.
Shit.
I told my parents, but they didn't believe me. I told them at the game he brought me to the high level,
Yeah.
and I ran away and escaped. But they still
Oh,
didn't believe me.
Okay, well
They
that's
said it
not.
was just a man handing out lost dog flyers for his cousin's dog.
He
The
touched
night
his
went on,
dog,
and I
really.
was fine. But then a year later, on New Year's Eve,
No.
there was a knock at my bedroom window. Keep in mind, I had forgotten about the situation.
Yeah.
I got up and looked, and there was a piece of paper on the window that
What did
said,
you say?
"This new year, you'll meet me again."
Shit.
I gave my parents the note,
Yeah.
and they filed a report.
Thank
They
you.
never heard anything back.
Okay.
Every couple of years, I get terrified of New Year's Eve, thinking that man will come back.
Yeah.
I told my parents I never want to go back to an NBA game, saying it wasn't my thing. But now I'm 16, and it scares me that the man knows where I live.
Yeah.
I'm considering going to the Cavs vs. Mavs game on January 2nd or 3rd, which would be my first game since then, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
This experience scared me away from basketball, and made me
Damn.
always close my curtains.
You just do that anyway, though. But okay, guys. I think I'm going to cut this video into like a 2-parter. So yeah, this is gonna be the end of part 1, and I hope to see you guys next time for part 2. So yeah, pretty severely all things considered, both of them. Honestly, I think you should have told your parents immediately. And I also think you shouldn't have gone with that man in the first place at all. Because like, at that point, you were already with a family member. You didn't need to go with him. So yeah. But I will see you guys next time for part 2. Bye!